can solve this linear equation. So from here, I'm just taking my number going to the variables on each other, so I'm just going to add my variables. So start there. And I'm going to have negative 5x is equal to negative 8x. Negative 1 plus 13 is going to give me plus 12. Now from here, I'm going to add my 8x onto the other side of the problem. And I'm going to end up with 3x is equal to 12. Now I'm simplifying. And I get x is equal to 4. Final answer? No problem with that one. Let's move on. Okay, now here's a find the unknown quantity in this percent problem. So as we saw earlier whenever we did the 10% commission, I made that a decimal. What's the first thing I'm going to do here? I'm going to take 22%, and I'm going to take the 22, and I'm going to move the decimal over twice, and that's going to make 0.22, okay? Now I'm going to take 0.22, and I'm going to multiply it by 38. If I put that into a calculator, I end up with 8.36. And again, if you get something like that, you have to round. Make sure you always, it doesn't say round to a tens or 100. Make sure you look at the instructions. Where do they want you to round it to? Now, let's look at this next problem here, okay? This next problem is saying, when the price of a computer was reduced by 5%, the sale price was $1,540. What was the original price? Round to the nearest whole number. It's a very difficult problem. Okay? Word's kind of weird. If I asked you to find 5% of what the original price was, it would be just what we did here in this last problem. And then to figure out what the sale price is, you would take that answer that you got by multiplying the 5% and the original price, like we did in the last one. You subtract it because of the discount, saving money, right? And then that would give us 1540, right? It's 1,540. But in this case, maybe we're backwards. You don't know here. So there's this little formula that you just need to know. It's really kind of hard to explain, but if you memorize this, if they're having you do discount, it would always be like this. If they're having you do tax, it would be a little different. Alright, so let me show you. The price of the computer is X, the original price. Alright? What I did in that last one, when I did 0.22 times 38, I'm going to do that, but I have to do it with X. I don't have the 38, I have the decimal. I have the 5%. If I make that a decimal, I have 5 and I move it over twice. But notice, I have a blank. What I say is in any loop that's empty, you throw in a 0. So this becomes 0.05. Please don't use 0.5. That's 50%. You're going to get a really crazy number. So, because it's a discount, and what I told you is a minus. Okay? If it was a tax, it would be a plus. Because it's a discount, it's a minus. Minus. Now, that's what I did there. My 0.05, my decimal, times X. I know it looks weird, but you gotta trust it. This is the formula for this problem. If it was a tax, it would do the same thing, except it would be a plus. So if you just memorize the formula, it should be okay for the tax. And it's equal to 1,540. Now, I'm looking at this going, what am I going to do with that? Well, it's a lot easier than you think. This is a 1. That's a 0.05. I'm just going to subtract it. And show you this, it's like 1.00 minus 0.05. It's like if I had $1 and I gave you 5 cents, I'd have 95 cents left over, okay? So this becomes 0.95x. Try it in your calculator. If you're a little confused, looking at me like this, you gotta look at this like you're crazy. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's what you get. It's still equal to 1,540. Now I'm just going to divide. So divide by 0.95, divide by 0.95, okay? And I end up, I get an answer, and I round it to the nearest dollar. So anyway, x is equal to 1621. When I round it, it's not what you're going to get in the calculator when you punch that in. But that's me rounding it. So that's how you do this problem. See, this formula right here, that's it. That's the formula. This over here, do it just like this, okay? This is how you do the problem. Please, 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 memorize this. If you do not understand what I'm talking about, just memorize it, okay? So that you see it, you know what to do. Don't want to mess you up on that, alright? Okay. Now, let's look at this very last one, alright? And then we're done. This last one is already solved for us. It's very basic problem. So I go to -3 here, and it's over here. this isn't, give me an open parenthesis. And this ain't X and graders. Remember my trick. Arrow that way, I know I'm shading. So I have my open circle in between the -4 and the -2, right here. Shade. And when I write it out in interval notation, it's going to be -3, comma, infinity, with parentheses, always to the infinity. It goes in this way because it starts at -3, and it goes all the way to infinity. I hope this review has helped you much. Please go over it again, rewind, try to do this again on your own, print out a copy of this review, try to do it blank, see if you get the same answers as me, watch the video if you don't, so on, to help you prepare for this test. The real test will be a lot less questions than this. I can give you a lot of questions so that you can see a lot of examples of the same stuff. And I make my problems, in my opinion, harder than what I assume the test one would be. But if you could do these, you should be fine on the actual test. Thank you and good luck.